A cold wind moved through the empty streets as a young man sat alone on a bench long after everyone else had gone home. Cars passed by, lights flickered in distant windows, but inside him everything felt dark. He stared at the ground and thought about all the years he wasted chasing things that never healed him. He tried success, he tried distractions, he tried pretending he was okay. But pain hidden behind a smile is still pain, and deep inside his soul was exhausted. That night he whispered something he had not said in years. God, are you still there? Sometimes life can make people feel forgotten. There are battles no one else sees, silent tears, silent anxiety, silent disappointments. People can stand in crowded rooms and still feel completely alone. But there is something powerful about the moment a person finally stops running and begins searching for God again. Because God has never stopped searching for them. Many people believe they must fix themselves before coming to Him. They think they need perfect words, perfect habits, perfect lives. But God meets people in broken places. He meets people at their lowest point, in the middle of regret, in the middle of confusion, in the middle of nights filled with fear. His mercy is bigger than your worst mistake. The world remembers failures, but God restores people. There are people listening right now who feel trapped by their past. You replay old memories over and over. You remember the doors you closed, the people you hurt, the choices you wish you could undo, and shame keeps whispering, "You've gone too far." But grace says something different. Grace says, there is still hope for you. God is not afraid of your scars. He is not shocked by your weakness. He already knows every chapter of your story, and He still calls you loved. Even when people walk away, God remains faithful. Even when your faith feels weak, His love remains strong. Sometimes God allows silence so people can finally hear His voice clearly. Because when distractions disappear, the soul begins to hunger for something real. Money cannot heal the heart. Fame cannot give peace. Temporary pleasures cannot satisfy an eternal soul. Only God can bring rest to a weary spirit. There are moments when life feels like a storm that never ends. You pray, but answers seem delayed. You try to stay strong, but your strength keeps fading. But even in storms, God is still present. He walks with people through valleys they thought would destroy them, and sometimes the hardest seasons become the very place where faith grows the deepest. A seed must be buried before it rises. And maybe the pain you are experiencing now is not the end of your story. Maybe it is preparation for something greater. God can take broken things and rebuild them stronger. He can turn mourning into joy, fear into courage, emptiness into purpose. He still heals hearts. He still changes lives. He still opens doors nobody else can open. The enemy wants people to believe they are abandoned, but heaven has not forgotten your name. Every prayer whispered through tears, God heard it. Every sleepless night, He saw it. Every time you almost gave up but kept going, He was beside you. Sometimes people ask, where is God during suffering? But often He is closest during the moments we feel weakest, because His presence shines brightest in darkness. There is peace that exists beyond understanding, a peace that remains even when life feels uncertain. That peace does not come from this world. It comes from trusting the One who holds tomorrow. God never promised a life without battles, but He promised people would never face them alone. When your heart grows tired, He gives strength. When fear surrounds you, He becomes your refuge. When anxiety rises, His presence brings calm, and when you fall, He lifts you again. Do not believe the lie that your life has no purpose. There is still calling inside you. There is still light inside you. There is still time for your story to change. One encounter with God can transform everything. A single prayer can begin a new chapter. A single moment of surrender can bring years of healing. The world tells people to hide weakness, but God invites the weary to come closer. You do not need to pretend with Him. Bring Him your doubts. Bring Him your pain. Bring Him the parts of yourself you try to hide from everyone else. Because God specializes in restoring what looks impossible to fix. And maybe right now, while listening to these words, something inside you is waking up again. Maybe hope is returning. Maybe faith is breathing again. Maybe your heart is remembering that God never left. You are not alone. Your life still matters. Your future is not destroyed. There is still mercy for you, still peace for you, still purpose for you. One day you will look back and realize that the season you thought would break you became the season that brought you close,